So very good morning everyone, मैं हूँ आकाश पढ़ियार. वेलकम टू दिस Node.js वेबिनार. सो आज हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे ये वेबिनार में व्हाट इज़ Node.js एंड हाउ टू क्रिएट अ वेबसाइट विद द हेल्प ऑफ Node.js. So good morning everyone, you can write your name in the chat section, your name and your college name. So I'm waiting for your comments in the chat section. So आज का जो वेबिनार है जो ऑर्गेनाइज किया है ज्ञान मंजरी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी कॉलेज ने विच इज़ लोकेटेड एट भावनगर. And special thanks for giving me this opportunity for the webinar. So before starting the webinars, let me give you an introduction about me. My name is Akash Padhiyar and I am a founder of Akash Technolabs. Since last 11 years मैं ये IT फील्ड में हूँ जहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट, क्लाइंट साइड वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट, मोबाइल ऐप डेवलपमेंट, काफ़ी सारी चीज़ में मैं और मेरी टीम डील कर रहे हैं. एंड ऑल्सो आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग अ प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग टू प्रोफेशनल्स एंड कॉर्पोरेट. So आज का जो मेन एजेंडा है ये Node.js, right? I'm waiting for your comments, guys. You can write your name in the chat section. Yes, I'm waiting for your comments. Yes, I can see your comments in the different screen, right? So I hope you are ready for that. So I can see there are lots of people are joining right now. Right now, 88 people watching this webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar. Okay. So now let's talk about. I hope I'm audible and I'm visible properly. Yes, thank you so much for your comments. Okay, that's great. So आज का जो मेन एजेंडा है ये वेबिनार का, आई नो वी आर रियली एक्साइटेड फॉर द लर्निंग Node.js. सो Node.js क्या है, क्यों मार्केट में Node.js आए, वो सारी डिटेल्स हम लोग देखेंगे विद थियरी एंड प्रैक्टिकल. तो देखिए, लेट मी गिव यू सम इंट्रोडक्शन अबाउट द Node.js. नाउअडेज आई थिंक सो आपने सुना होगा Node, Angular, React, देन फ्लटर, ये बहुत सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज है, राइट? इवन रिएक्ट नेटिव, आयोनिक, तो हर जगह Node.js का एक बेस रहता है, राइट? सो Node.js इज अ सर्वर साइड लैंग्वेज, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज वी कैन से. नॉर्मली आपको पता होगा HTML, CSS एंड जावास्क्रिप्ट. तो वो जावास्क्रिप्ट थोड़ा बहुत डिफरेंट है और जावास्क्रिप्ट का एक नया वर्जन है दैट इज ECMAScript, राइट? जिसको हम बोलेंगे AS6, राइट? तो वही बेस पे, वही फंडा पे यहाँ पे Node.js का काम होता है. एंड Node.js के बाद आप Angular और React और Vue.js पे भी काम कर सकते हो. सो बेसिकली व्हाट इज यूज ऑफ Node.js? लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद दिस टुडेज वेबिनार विदाउट वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. आई होप यू आर रेडी. ओके, सो देखिए यहाँ पे हम लोग इंटरेक्टिव वेबिनार रखेंगे. मैं आपको कई बार क्वेश्चंस पूछने वाला हूँ एंड यू हैव टू राइट योर आंसर इन द चैट सेक्शन. सो गेट रेडी फॉर दैट. ओके, सो I hope my screen is visible. Okay, yes. So now what is next? So let's say for an example, let me start my PPT first. Okay. So now you can see this is a basic introduction about the Node.js. So let's get started with the Node.js introduction. So first of all, what is Node.js? So Node.js is a server-side JavaScript programming language. So same as previously you know very well, JavaScript also known as a client-side technologies. But a Node.js is a server-side JavaScript programming. With the help of Node.js, we can create a real-time chat application and many more things. But Node.js is an open source, a cross-platform runtime environment for developing a server-side and networking-based application. So Node.js applications are written in JavaScript, and Node.js can be run on Windows, Linux, and Mac, and many operating systems, right? So we can say it's a platform independent, and that is the most benefit for the developers, because developers are using Linux, Mac, and Windows systems. So the next question will be there, sir, with the help of Node.js, what we can make? So with the help of Node.js, you can create a real-time chat application, same as WhatsApp, right? I know in WhatsApp the backend will be there like Node.js, a data streaming application such as YouTube Live, Instagram Live, and Facebook Live. You know very well, whenever we are doing a live streaming, there are lots of people are joining together and we need enough connection for that, right? So application that can handles a millions of concurrent connection. For an example, right now we are on YouTube Live, right? So you in YouTube Live, you know very well, lots of people, millions of people and billions of people can join together and for that we need a powerful backend. So backend अगर आपका अच्छा है तो definitely you can handle millions of concurrent connections. So now what is next? So with the help of Node.js, we can create a DNS server, a proxy server, and multiplayer game applications backend. So I hope you guys are playing the PUBG and lots of games are there. Let's say Ludo is there, right? So let's say if you are creating a multiplayer application, so for that you need a proper backend. So with the help of this backend, they can club together with multiplayers, right? So let's talk about the founder. So who is the founder of Node.js? So Rehan Dal, which was started in 2009, and JavaScript is Node.js is totally written in the C, C++, and JavaScript. Okay. So why Node.js? That will be again next question. So let's say if you are planning to create a website, you know we have lots of technologies are there: ASP, PHP, JSP, Django, Python, and lots of technologies are there. So let's say in these technologies, you can create a website where you're designing your logic part and everything will be there in a single page. I know in Django there will be MVT template. It's a model with template. But let's say if you talk about the traditional code, in traditional code, there will be a one page which contains your designing, your database connection, and your logic coding, right? So with the help of Node.js, we can create a SPA-based application. SPA in the sense a single page application, right? So you can see the best example is Google, Gmail. So Gmail is a SPA-based application. There will be a one page and the rest of will be a components, right? That is called as a components. So real-time solution. So let's say whenever you are sending some request and at the same time you are getting the result, that is called as a real-time solution, a data streaming, a speedy execution, and let's say if you are planning to start a new project for the budget wise, you can say a minimum viable product you can create, and the JSON API. So you know very well JSON is present everywhere. So let's say if you are planning to start your Android application or iOS application, you know very well we have to depend on the REST and JSON API. So JSON, you know very well, I hope so. Okay. So what is benefit of using Node.js? So Node.js is a fast, non-blocking IO model. Means fast, I know that will be a common feature for all the programming language. All the programming languages are very fast. I know that. But yes, actually Node.js is very fast. So non-blocking IO model, that is the most important thing. We will discuss in the next slide what is non-blocking IO model. And JavaScript is present everywhere nowadays. Node.js, React.js, AngularJS, Vue.js, Chocolate.js, there are lots of JS is there right now. So real-time web application, we can connect all the database, let's say MySQL, SQL, Oracle, many more, MongoDB is there, right? So NPM, a node package manager, that is a dependency management, and it's a provide a faster page loading within a website. Means with the help of Node.js, you can load your website faster. So I know there will be some limitations, right? We cannot skip this slide because whenever you are planning to start a new technology, we have to learn the basic concepts and also we have to know the advantage and disadvantage of using particular technology. So let's say if we talk about the disadvantages, right? So the application programming interface, let's say we can call as an API. API is not stable. I know, but a lack of developers on the market since it's relatively new. You know very well, let's say only freshers can obtain a latest technology. Let's say I have 10-year experience for an example, right? So I know I'm comfortable with all the technologies. So never I'm going to try for new technology because IT कंपनी में आपको पता है जो डेवलपर जो टेक्नोलॉजी में काम करता है उसको एक माइंड में प्रॉब्लम रहता है कि अगर मैं नई टेक्नोलॉजी में गया तो सैलरी स्केल का इश्यू हो सकता है, एक्सपीरियंस का इश्यू हो सकता है. सो इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू चेंज in their particular position, right? But yes, if you are a fresher, if you are a student, so you can try these technologies, right? And let's say if it is not stable, can you tell me which one is a stable technology? Every technology is updating their new version day by day. Android and iOS are releasing their new version every year. Node.js is releasing their new version every 6 months, right? But you can take this opportunity as a positively. For an example, अगर client website बना रहा है, नई update आई, client क्या करेगा? I want to upgrade this website. So for that you will get definitely some good amount from the client, right? That is called as a maintenance cost. So according to me, this is the best opportunity to cover this technology, right? So let's say the next slide. Node.js will be ideal choice when you are planning to create a chat-based application, a non-blocking IO model, and data streaming application, right? Now, what is blocking IO model? Let's say right now we are doing this webinar for your college, right? You are also occupied with me, and I'm also occupied with you guys. So that is called as a blocking IO model, blocking input and output model. So let's say whenever someone is sending your request to your website, so your website will be block certain part of your computer data, or we can say server data, right? जैसे ही वो release करता है, then and then you can access the input output device. So right now, let's say if someone call me right now, right? So it is very difficult to handle the call because I am occupied, I am blocked with this webinar, right? So that is called as a blocking IO model. So in Node.js is a non-blocking IO model. That is the most important thing. So let's say whenever someone is sending a request, it will create one instance, right? And that instance will be a totally independent, and that will not block your input output devices. That is the most important benefit of using Node.js. That's why Node.js is fast and very fast. Okay. So the next question will be there, who is using Node.js, right? So if we talk about who is using Node.js, so you can see the LinkedIn, Walmart, SAP, eBay, PayPal, Trello, Yahoo, and Netflix. There are lots of companies are using Node.js for their backend technology. So let's say you can also search in the Google and you will get this list of website with that description. But let me give you some short introduction. LinkedIn is using for the chat-based application. PayPal is using for the payment-based option. Netflix for the backend. SAP and Trello. Yeah, Trello is the #1 website. So normally, let's say if you want to take a look of a one-page application or spa-based application, simply you can visit the Trello. So Trello website जो है, जो normally IT company में ज़्यादा यूज होती है to manage their works, daily tasks and daily reminders, right? So now what is next? Just a second. So these are the basic introduction about the features. Okay, so next is framework. So framework means what? So normally in the IT company, so there are lots of peoples are there, right? So you know very well, every people will write the logic that in its own way, right? So that is not a good idea. Let's say our logic is good, but let's say if we talk about some coding structure, file structure, so a framework provides a standard way to build and deploy the application, right? So for an example, we can say we have lots of MVC frameworks are there. So the benefit of using frameworks are, it's a time saving, a scalability, the robustness and security, right? Security, it's okay. So let's say आप एक ही कोडिंग मल्टीपल वे में लिख सकते हो, लेकिन मान लीजिए कि आप कोई प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हो, तो वो प्रोजेक्ट का स्ट्रक्चर आप कुछ डिफरेंट वे में बना रहे हो, आपका कोई फ्रेंड और डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर में बना रहा है, तो दैट विल बी अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? सो व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन डिफाइन वन स्ट्रक्चर and everyone has to follow that particular structure. So it will be a we can say a centralized code, right? So there are lots of frameworks are there in the Node.js. So here you can see we have Express.js, Happy, Total, Koa, Flatron, Locomotive. I know the names are very difficult to pronounce, but these are the frameworks of Node.js. Same ways we have various frameworks in PHP, that is Laravel, CodeIgniter, Cake PHP, Zen framework, and in Java we have frameworks, right? So same thing over here in Node.js we have MVC based frameworks. Okay, so I can see there are lots of people are joining this webinar. Thank you so much everyone. I hope you are enjoying, and yes, I can see your comments. Okay. So now what is next? So let's say a node package manager, that is a npm, right? So what is npm? So npm is a package manager for the JavaScript programming language, and it is to use install new package and manage them in a useful way. So it is the default package manager for the JavaScript runtime environment in Node.js. So Node.js has 60,000 plus modules, right? So यहाँ पे अगर हम बात करते हैं कि what is Node package manager? So let's say if you want to download some libraries from the internet, so what we have to do, we have to follow some commands, right? So I will give you a demonstration for that in next practical session. So let's say if we talk about the versions, so which version is good, which is a current version. Let's say in Node.js we have two different versions. One is a long-term support and second one is a current version, right? So right now the current version is 14 version, right? And the latest long-term support is 12.4. Okay, so you can see this is a chart of the version history. So here you can see the timeline of the releasing the new versions. So right now we are in 2020, right? You can see the current version is 14 and the support will be active till 2021. So on base of this chart, you can decide your upcoming features, upcoming updates for your client's project, right? So simply you can download the Node.js from the internet. The website name is nodejs.org, which is also available for the Windows, Linux and Mac. Okay, 32-bit, 64-bit, all the options are there. Simply you can download and you can press next, next, next. There will be no rocket science for that. Okay, so what is next? So next is, let's say, which one is a good editor, right? I know you love Notepad, but in IT company, Notepad is very difficult to maintain a various project, various files, right? So personally, I love Visual Studio Code Editor, right? So most of the developers, most of the IT companies nowadays using the VS Code Editor, and Sublime is also good option. Atom, WebStorm, lots of editors are there, right? So WebStorm is ID, it's not an editor actually. So now what is next? So you can comment your favorite editor in the chat section. Which editor is good and which editor right now you are using, you can comment in the chat section. So we can see the audience choice, right? I'm waiting for your comments. Hope you are going to comment in the chat section. So what is next? So next is installation steps that I told you. Simply download and just click on the next, next, next. And you also have to specify an environment path, but most of the case it's not required. It will automatically set up the environment variable. But yes, in some cases we have to specify the environment variable, right? And then you can restart your PC and then you can start working in Node.js, right? So I hope you guys are ready to learn the practical session. Okay, so let's get started with the hello world in Node.js, right? So now this is a simple statement, a hello world, to print something on screen. I know, not in screen, in command line tool we have to use the console.log hello world, right? So console.log is used to print something on your command line tool, that is a console.log. So how to run this program? So I can see there are some fake comments are there. I will block immediately. So please maintain the chat policy. Okay. So how to run program? So simply you can save your file as a .js and then you can write the command that is node and your file name .js. So let me give a demonstration for this, right? So I hope you are ready for the practical session. Yes or no? You can write in the chat section. So अभी तक हमने क्या देखा? A theory part. What is Node.js? Why it's required? I know I was little bit faster because I have to cover lots of practical topics over here, right? So ये webinar जो है 24/7 live रहेगा. You can watch this webinar again and again, and you can simply do the practical after completion of this webinar, right? So right now just focus on the screen, right? And then you can perform this in your laptop or maybe in computer. Okay. So I hope you are ready. Are you ready for the coding? Yes or no? You can write in the chat section. Okay. Okay. So what is next? So just open the command prompt. But yes, for that we have to download the Node.js. Don't worry, I'm not going to download this Node.js. I don't want to waste your time. So here you can see this is a nodejs.org. Here you can download the Node.js. Just a second, let me block one person. Desai Dhamal Factory. Hide user. Okay, it's done. Okay, so it's done. So now you can see this is a long-term version, LTS 12.18, and the current version is 14. This version, right? So here you can see 6.14 is a NPM, right? That is a Node package manager that will be automatically installed when you install the Node.js. So next is, let's say, if we talk about the Visual Studio Code. So you can simply search on the Google and you will get one website that is a visualstudiocode.com. You can download this editor, and I love this editor because there are lots of extensions are there. Right now I'm working in all the technologies, so it will be very helpful for me to install the Python extension, Node.js, Angular, React. Lots of extensions are there. You can make your editor as a IDE with the help of this feature, right? Okay, so once your installation is done, what we can do, simply you can open the command prompt. Let me increase the font size so that it will be very easy to you to read the font. Okay, so let's say if I type node in my command prompt, you will get this option, welcome to Node.js, right? So what is next? So here you can simply do the basic operation of 10 plus 10, that will be a 20. I know very well, but yes, programming is working perfect. So now let's say if I close this, if I want to close this, what we can do? Simply we can do the Control-C twice. So you can see my program is exit from the Node.js terminal. So now what is next? So let me give a demonstration in the Notepad. Okay, so now just open the console.log. Welcome to Node.js. Okay, and the semicolon. So now just save this file in D drive. I love the D drive, and name it demo.js. So here you can see the demo.js, and we have to save as all files. It's done. So now how to run this particular file? So simply again open the command prompt, right? So navigate to your D drive, D colon, and then what we can do, we can simply write node demo.js. So here you can see a welcome to Node.js. But it is very difficult to maintain the multiple files, multiple projects. So what we can do, so simply we can create one folder in our D drive, right? So here I will create one new folder and just name it GMIT, right? Okay, so what we can do, simply you can open your VS Code. Just go to open folder, D drive, and select your GMIT folder. Okay, so now it will be very easy to create and manage multiple files from this section, right? So simply here you can create, let me increase the size so it will be very easy for you. Okay, so now I hope it is visible. Just let me increase again. So here you can create a new file and name it demo.js, and here you can see this is my demo.js file. Here we can write console.log, just a second, and welcome to Node, and that's it. So let's say if you are using VS Code, you know very well we have an inbuilt terminal, right? So for that you have to go to your view, and there will be an option for the terminal, right? Simply you can also click over here, so it will open the terminal, and here you can see this is a terminal option. So with the help of VS Code, we can create multiple instances of the terminals. And let's say if I want to delete this, then we have a dustbin, or we can say it's a kill terminal. Okay, so now it will be very easy for me to create a multiple files, to write the code and run the programs over here. Okay, so now what I can do, simply I can type node demo.js. So once I press enter, and you can see this is welcome to Node.js. So here you can also define variables, same as C programming, where a equals to 10, right? You can print the value, that is a, and if I run the output program again, you can see this is a welcome to node 10. For space you can use this, clear the screen, and again node demo.js. So here you can see the welcome to node 10, right? So it is very easy to define a variable, to print the variable, and you can also use the same syntax of if condition, while loop, do while loop, for loop. All the syntaxes are same as C languages. So what's new? So there are lots of new topics are there. So let's start the next topic. I hope you are enjoying. Yes or no? I'm waiting for your comments in the chat section. 1, 2, 3. Start writing comments in chat section. Yes or no? Okay. So now let's talk about the next topic, that is HTTP core module. Now what is HTTP core module, right? So let's say I want to print something on my browser, right? Because you know very well, with the help of this command line tool, we are not able to create a website. So for that we can do a web-based, or we can say HTTP-based hello world. So in Node.js, modules concept is there. So module in Node.js, a simple or complex functionality organized in a single or multiple JavaScript file, which can be reused throughout the Node.js application. For an example, I have some bunch of code that I want to reuse in my application, right? So that is called as a module, and we can consider, or we can specify as a module. So each module in Node.js has its own context, so it cannot interfere with the other modules or polluted global scope. Also each modules can be placed in a separate JS file under a separate folder. So same concept we can say as a user defined functions, or we can say global variables. So now here you can see in Node.js we have 3 types of modules. One is a core module, we can say that is an inbuilt module. Second, a local modules, and third, that is a third party modules. Okay, so one by one we will demonstrate all these modules. Okay, so first is, what is core module? So let's say Node.js is a lightweight framework. The core modules includes bare minimum functionalities of the Node.js. So these core modules are compiled into its binary distribution and load automatically when Node.js process start. However, you need to import the core module first in order to use in your application. So I can give you some basic example that say in C programming, first we are importing the header files conio.h, studio.h, and then we are using the functions that is a printf and scanf. So same thing over here, that is called as a core module. So in Node.js we have different core modules, that is HTTP, URL, query string, path, file handling, FS, utility, and many more modules are there. Simply you can visit this website, so you will get lots of modules name and their methods, right? Okay, so now let me give you some demo for the HTTP modules. So before loading any modules, what we have to do, we have to follow the syntax, that is where your module name, and require we have to specify our module name. So now let me give you one example for the HTTP. You know very well we are using HTTP for the hypertext transfer protocol. If I want to send some message, that will be based on the HTTP, right? So in HTTP we have method that is a create server. So we can also create a server. A server will send the request, and also it will get the response. Okay, and we have to specify a particular port number to run the program. Okay, so let's say to create the server, this is a basic code. Let me give you explanation in both the languages, Hindi, Gujarati, or maybe in English. Yeah, I'm comfortable with all the languages, but yes, we have to take care because lots of peoples are from different country, different city, and different states, right? So, what is next? So here you can see this is a var, that is a variable. Okay. So, HTTP means you know very well that is a hypertext transfer protocol. HTTP creates a method in which we have to specify one function which will send some request and it will get some response. Okay. So let's say if we want to print something on screen, first we have to specify the response head. For an example, you know very well 404 means we know very well 404 means not found. And 200 means, that means it's considered as a OK. That is a HTTP status code, right? So now what is next? So here you can see this is a content type. So content type will be a different one, that is a text JSON, text maybe HTML, or maybe text plain, right? So we can specify the right head and then response.end. That means this statement will print something on your screen. So this is a 3 lines of code, and this code will be print your statement in your browser. That is called as a HTTP, right? So now here you can see this is a console.log server running at particular port number, right? So ये जो कोड है वो एक्चुअली क्या काम करता है? तो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे हमने HTTP मॉड्यूल है उसका हमने इस्तेमाल किया है. उसके लिए मैंने एक वेरिएबल लिया और वो वेरिएबल के थ्रू मैंने क्रिएट सर्वर, मेक श्योर यहाँ पे सर्वर का एस कैपिटल रहेगा. एंड देन यहाँ पे एक हमने फंक्शन डिफाइन किया है जो फंक्शन रिक्वेस्ट एंड रिस्पॉन्स दोनों को मैनेज करेगा. जब भी हमको कोई रिस्पॉन्स देना है तो वो रिस्पॉन्स पॉजिटिव, नेगेटिव और मे बी ब्लैंक भी हो सकता है. सो फॉर दैट हमको यहाँ पे क्या करना पड़ेगा, वो रिस्पॉन्स का स्टेटस क्या है और रिस्पॉन्स कौन से फॉर्मेट में है वो यहाँ पे हमको स्पेसिफाई करना है. एंड देन वी विल प्रिंट दी स्टेटमेंट response.end. response.end है वो आपका प्रोग्राम है, उसका आपको यहाँ पे आउटपुट दिखाएगा. और सर्वर जो है पर्टिकुलर पोर्ट नंबर पे रन होता है, तो उसके लिए हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, तो यहाँ पे हमको पोर्ट नंबर देना पड़ेगा. और पोर्ट नंबर आप कुछ भी दे सकते हो, लेट्स से कि 8081 5000 4000, राइट. सो मेक श्योर कि वो पोर्ट नंबर फ्री होना चाहिए. सो नाउ लेट्स से इफ आई क्लिक ऑन द नेक्स्ट, सो हियर यू कैन सी दिस इज आउटपुट ऑफ योर कोड. आपको पोर्ट नंबर रन करना पड़ेगा लाइक दिस 127.0.0.1 और यू कैन राइट लोकल होस्ट. ओके, सो व्हाट इज नेक्स्ट? सो लेट मी copy this code so we can demonstrate in a quick. Where is this code? Okay, so where is my program? So create one new file and name it server demo.js, right? So if I paste this code over here, I know it will be very difficult to read. Remove this comments, remove this. Okay, so now you can see it's very easy. The 3 lines of code will create your server and it will print your response in browser, right? So first, that is a core module, then server method, your response right head, your response end, your port number, and console.log. Okay, so let's say if I run the program, that is a node server demo.js. So here you can see my program is started at running at particular port number. So if I click on this, here you can see hello world in Node.js, right? So simply you can write your port number like this 8081 and it's working fine. But let's say I want to stop this program, so you can simply press Ctrl C, and now if you refresh, it will display one error. The site can't be reached. Why? Because server has stopped working. Okay, so now what is next? So what is next? So next is, let's say if I want to refresh this program, so here you can see this is 1, and now let's say if I run the program node demo.js. Sorry, not demo. Just clear the screen. Node server demo.js. So here you will get your output again, right? But here you can see this is a 1. But let's say if I change this value with 2, and if I save this, and if I refresh this, again it will display the previous value, right? So for that, what we have to do, we have to close this server again, we have to restart again, right? So this is a very lengthy process. So ऐसे करने जाएंगे तो बहुत time waste होगा. So what we can do, we can use a third party modules, right? So what is third party modules? So that is one website. So the website name is npmjs.com, right? So here you will get lots of plugins are there. You can download this libraries plugins in your Node.js application, right? So let's say if I search for Nodemon. So Nodemon is a library which will automatically refresh your server, restart your server whenever you press Ctrl S, right? So here you can see you are very expert nowadays. You know how to check the values, right? So you can see this is a version numbers. They have released around the 215 versions, and weekly download is around 27 lakh, right? And now you can see the collaborator of this library is Rami, right? And this is totally open source. Okay, so now what is next? So next is, let's say, so here you can see this is a command line tools that we have to follow to install this particular libraries in our program. And for that we have to create one package.json file. So first open the Node.js terminal, just navigate to your D drive, and what is my program name? gmit. Okay, so before downloading any library, we need one package.json file. So now what is package.json file? Package.json, we can say it's a metadata. It stores a metadata of your application. So for that, we have to follow some commands. So first command is npm init. So npm stands for Node Package Manager. So whenever you want to download or you want to delete, uninstall, update any libraries of Node.js, we have to depend on the npm command line tool. So first command is npm init. I want to use a third party libraries of Node.js. So for that we need package.json file. And to create a package.json file, we have to write this command, that is a npm init. So here you can see we have to specify some name, package name, right? So let's say the package name is Akash. The version, that will be a description, right? Then the description will be maybe anything. Entry point. So entry point means your first page, which want to load automatically, right? Test command, git repository, keywords. You can specify this value, but it's not required. Author, license, just press enter. So here you can see this is a package.json file. When I press OK, it will create this package.json file, right? So here you can see this is OK. Yes, it's OK. So you can see it's done. So if you navigate to your project, your programs, here you can see the package.json file is created successfully, right? So just delete it. Why? Because we have a second methods to create package.json file. So what we can do, we can simply write npm init -y. So this is a shortcut method. So -y in the sense it will automatically fetch values. So let's say if I press enter, you can see without asking any questions, the command line tool has created one file, that is a package.json file, right? And simply we can change the value over here. If you want to change this particular values, then simply it's a notepad file, notepad editor file. Simply you can specify over here, right? So now why I have created this file? Because I want to install a dependency, right? A libraries. So now what is next? So next is, let's say there is one command, that is npm install nodemon. So now let's say, just clear the screen. I will write the command, hey npm, hey node package manager, I want to install a nodemon. Sorry, the spelling mistakes. A nodemon -g. So npm, that is a node package manager. Install, that is a short form of the I is a short form of no install. You can write the install full word. Nodemon is my library name, and -g stands for a global in my computer. So if I press enter, here you can see it will start downloading this library. Okay. So now you can see the library downloaded in my C drive, users, Akash, app data, roaming, npm and nodemon folder is there. So simply just press enter and just open the command Windows R and run command. You can paste your path. So here you can see in node modules, the lots of libraries are there in my computer, because I'm working on Node, Angular, React Native, TypeScript, and many more libraries are there. That is Express file upload, Express generator, Express validator, Express session, and many more. Okay. So this is a simple way to download in your Google global computers, right? But let's say if you type the -g, it will download in your global computer, means your global path. But let's say if I want to add this particular library as a dependency in my particular project, so what we have to do, we have to write the command again, but the syntax will be changed, the parameter will be changed, that will be a -save, right? So -save in the sense it will save this dependency in your project. So just press enter. I hope you are enjoying. Okay. So now you can see this command is reflected over here. So in package.json file, you can see the dependency added as a nodemon, right? And here you can see the nodemon folder, node modules folder is created successfully, which refers to your library. Okay. So now, what is use of this nodemon actually? So the reason of installing this library is, let's say if I want to restart my server automatically whenever I press save, so simply what we can do, instead of the node, what we can do, we can type the command, that is nodemon, and you can specify a server demo.js. So here you can see this will restart your server automatically. So now it's a 2. So if I refresh this code, it's 2. So if I say, if I press 3, if I press Ctrl S, so you can see the server is restarted automatically. So now you can refresh, you will get the 3, again 4, Ctrl S, server restarted, and refresh, right? So that's it. So I hope you got the idea how to install the third-party library with the help of npm package manager, node package manager. Okay. So I'm waiting for your comments. I hope you are getting the point very well. I know I'm a little bit faster because I have to cover lots of topic, right? And you can watch this webinar again and again, and you can also perform the same operations in your laptop or in your computer. I'm waiting for your comments in the chat section. Are you enjoying or not? You can write in the comment or maybe in the chat section. 1, 2, 3, start writing the comment. Okay, so if you are ready for the next topic, that is Express.js, right? So we can proceed for the next topic. I'm waiting for your comments. Okay, which type of project we can create in Node.js? That is already mentioned in the first 10 minutes, right? You can create any type of, at the end of the webinar, we will do the QA session, question answer. So at that time, you can ask this question again, okay? Yes, today's agenda already discussed in the starting of the webinar, right? development using the Node.js. Okay. So let's get started with the next topic. Okay. Learn code over also. Okay, so the last topic for the today's session is Express.js, right? So we have 15 minutes more to cover the next topic. So now what is Express? Express.js.com. So now what is next? So next is, let's say, what is Express.js? So Express.js is a MVC framework, right? So the webinar is specially organized for the introduction of the Node.js and Express.js, right? So in Node.js there are lots of topics are there. You can search in the Google, you will get lots of idea for that, right? So this is a quick tour for the Node.js and the next quick tour for the Express.js. I hope you can understand. In 1 hour we cannot learn all these things, right? But still I'm trying to cover all the topics in 1 hour. Okay. So what is Express.js? So Express is MVC framework, right? So to install the Express MVC, we have to follow the command. Now I hope you know very well what is use of this commands. That is npm install express. Okay. So to install the Express, we have two options. You can install step by step by following this command, or we have one more option, that is an Express generator. So generator name itself says it will automatically generate for you. Okay. So here you can see, for that we have to write the command, that is, hey npm please install Express generator, right? So we have to follow this command in the command prompt. So let's say just clear the screen and press enter. So now the Express generator is installed successfully, but in my system Express is already there. So here you can see the updated one package. There is no change at all, right? So what is next? So next, to create your project with the help of Express, we have to follow the syntax, right? So simply you can visit this website. Here almost all the steps are there. How to create cookie, how to define the session, how to connect your database. Almost all topics are there. So let me give you one quick tour in next 10 minutes. Okay. So what we can do to create a new project, let's say to create new project in Express.js, we have to write the command, hey Express, I want to create one new project, right? So here we have to specify view. Now what is view? View in the sense, let's say whenever you are creating a website, there will be a HTML code. To generate the HTML code, we have to install a template engine. So it is considered as view over here. So in Node.js or in Express.js, we have lots of template engines are there. A Pug, Jade, Handlebars. So here you can see the names are there. EJS, Handlebars, Jade, Pug, Twig, Vast. There are lots of template engines are there. You can also search in the Google. So you will get this template engine options, right? But here you can see by default they are using a Pug, right? So what we can do, we can simply use EJS. EJS is very easy to use, very easy to understand the concept of the EJS template engine, right? So here we can specify the project name. My project name will be my app, or you can specify any name. So if I press enter, so you can see this command will create this folders and files, right? So here you can see first here it is created one folder. Inside the folder there will be a public folder, a JavaScript, images, CSS, a routing, we can say it's a navigation. And let's say if you want to create a particular HTML code, then here we can create EJS file, an app.js file which maintains all the information about your files, package.json file, and ww files is there. But yes, before starting this project, we have to follow this syntax, or we have to follow this information. First we have to change the directory and we have to name it my app, right? And then we have to install this dependency, right? So let me open this particular folder. Just go to open folder and navigate to your D drive. Inside the D drive, we have one folder that is a GMIT. Inside the GMIT, we have folder that is a my app. So if you open this folder, you will get all the folder structure. Your package.json file is there, and you can see in the package.json file, we have some dependencies, right? You know what is dependency, how to install this dependency. But in this case, no need to install all the dependency one by one. What we can do, simply we can write the command npm install. So npm install command will automatically install all the dependencies one by one. So let's say if you're switching back to your folder, here you can see the node modules folder is there, and inside the node module folder you will get all the dependency. So here you can see the EJS is there, right? Express is there, right? And Morgan and HTTP errors. So to run the program, what we can do, we have two different commands, that is npm start, or you can use node mon. So npm start will refers to node and your folder name. So if I refresh, the port number will be 3000 because Express will work on the port number 3000. So let me refresh this. Okay. So here you can see this is my Express.js. Okay. So Express is MVC framework which organize all the folders, all the file structures. So let me give you an introduction about each files. So app.js, you can see this is my main file. Here it will maintain the routes. We can say this is my route, the template engine, the other codes are there, right? And then this is my bin folder. Here you can see the module.export means your local modules. So now let's say in www you can see the file has imported over here as a require, and they are also using HTTP core modules to create the local server, and you can see the port number is defined over here. So this is a simple method of creating the servers that we have seen previously with the help of Node.js, right? So in public you can put your JavaScript file, your images file, your CSS file. In routes, let's say if I open the index.js, so index.js you can see by default we have get method for the root directory. Inside the root directory you can see this will render your index.ejs file, which is located at over here, index.ejs, right? So index.ejs you can see this is my welcome to screen, and user, which will print your response with resources. I know this is very difficult to understand in 5 minutes or maybe in 10 minutes, but whenever you start writing the code, you will get this idea how this coding structure is working, right? But let me give you one quick example for that. So what I will do, so I will create one new file for the about. So about.ejs. So for that I will write h1. This is my about. Then next, let's say if you want to create a contact.ejs, and here I will write h1 contact. So it's done. But now I want to load this particular files. So for that we have to specify in the routes index.js. Simply you can copy this code, paste it 2 times, one for the about. So about URL will refers to your about.ejs file. The contact URL will refers to your contact file, right? So we have 3 different files: index, about, and contact. So now let's say again we have to stop the server. We have to start the server again because we are not using nodemon right now. So to run the program, we have to type the URL that is about, and that one is contact. So simply it's very easy. Here you can write your all the HTML codings over here inside the EJS file. You can also load your CSS images, but make sure the CSS and images will be there in the public folder, right? So this is a simple example of the Express.js, how to create your Express project and how to run particular simple basic demonstration. But let's say, let me give you one best example for the navigations. So for navigations, what we can do, href, right, home, then pipeline, then about, and contact. So this will be a contact and this will be a about. Okay, so the URL will be about and the path contact. Okay, so for the home we have to specify the root directory. Okay, so now let's say if you refresh your page, but again just close this, write the node mon directly, right? So now what is next? So next is, let's say if I refresh this, if I remove this particular path, so this is my home, right? This is my about, and this one is my contact, right? So it is very easy. I know it is very difficult to understand because we are maybe you are first time you are learning this Node.js, so that's why it will take some time. But at least you can watch this webinar again and again. I know I was little bit faster because you know very well it is very difficult to cover all the topics in 1 hour, but I tried my best, right? So if you want to learn more, then simply you can visit my YouTube channel for the database connection. So simply you can search Akash Padhiyar, right? And don't forget to subscribe or like this video, right? So here you can see I have created various tutorials for that. Node.js for the beginners, it's a step-by-step tutorials, right? So Express.js, you can also search for the Express.js. So Express MongoDB database CRUD operation. So if you want to create a CRUD operation with the help of Node.js, MongoDB, so simply you can visit this video, right? So if you search for the Express.js, so here you will get the Express.js tutorial step by step, right? Okay, and you can also visit my channel, so you will get more tutorials on the different topics. So here you can see right now we are on the this link, right? So here you will get a quick tutorials for the Angular, Node, Laravel, React, Django, PHP, and many more technologies are there, right? Simply you can visit these links, so you will get more idea for the particular technologies, right? And if you have any question, doubts, you can ping me on WhatsApp anytimes. So let's get started with the QA session. I hope this session was good. You can write your feedback in the chat section, and also I will share a link with you in the next 5 minutes. So let me start. Yes, just a second. Okay, so I hope the session was good and you got the point very well. I know the speed of my coding and the topic that I have delivered with you, but yes, I hope you are ready for that. Okay, so you can write your question, your doubts, your question, your feedback in the chat section. I'm waiting for your feedback. Okay. So I can see right now 209 people are watching this webinar. I'm waiting for your comments, your questions, your doubts. Thank you, sir. Okay. So let me give you a feedback link. Okay, so feedback link is given in the chat section, or you will also get from the description itself. Okay. So yeah, I can see your comments. Param, Raj, Siddhant, Venkateswar Reddy, Birva, Dhwani, Dharmil, Janki. Okay, I hope the session was good. So yeah, I can see there is one comment. How can I use Redis with the Angular? May I know the purpose? On basis of that, I can give you Dimple very well explanation. Thank you, Dimple. रिएक्ट करते हो? यस डेफिनेटली. मैंने आपको अभी दिखाया ना चैनल में, अभी 5 मिनट पहले दिखाया कि रिएक्ट का वीडियो है. ओके सर, वेबिनार वाज वेरी गुड टू लर्न सो मच फॉर बिगिनर्स. थैंक यू. नो डाउट. थैंक यू फॉर द गुड सेशन. थैंक यू सो मच. So you can also follow me on Instagram and YouTube and WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere. You can visit my details. So if you have any question, if you have any doubts during the practical time, you can ping me. I will ready to help you. Right? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So it's time to end this webinar. I think so. There is no more question, no more doubts. Yeah, I can see there is more comments. Nice webinar, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the comments. Okay. So if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, if you want to keep in touch with me, you can ping me on WhatsApp with your name, so you will get more idea for the upcoming webinars. During this lockdown, I did around 100 plus webinars in the different technologies for the different colleges, right? Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay. So finally, thank you so much everyone for joining this webinar, right? And also special thanks to Gyan Manjari Institute of Technology for giving me this opportunity for delivering this webinar for your college students, okay? And don't forget to fill up the feedback form. Your feedback is very important for me, right? Okay. Yeah. And you will get all the details from the description for the social media and the WhatsApp and everything is there. Okay. So finally, thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Thank you so much. Keep in touch with me and don't forget to subscribe my channel so you will get more notification for upcoming webinars or upcoming videos. Okay. So finally, bye bye. Stay home, stay safe, and start learning new technologies. I hope you will start creating website with the help of Node.js. Okay, thank you everyone.